What happens if an astronaut dies in space? Most people think the body just floats away. But NASA has a much scarier reality. A protocol, because a spaceship is a sealed can, and one mistake can put the whole crew in danger. In movies, space is huge and empty. But inside a spacecraft, it's tiny. If someone dies, the mission doesn't magically pause. The crew still has to breathe the same air, touch the same surfaces, and keep the ship running. And NASA's standards literally warn about risks like contamination and the mental shock for the surviving crew. So what would they do? Not kick them out, not let them drift. NASA planning documents talk about having a crew mortality plan before missions even launch, including how to confirm the death, how to protect the crew, and how to handle the remains respectfully. Here's the creepy part. NASA has used and studied a human remains containment unit, basically a special containment system for a body, so the remains can be sealed to help prevent contamination of the living area. Think of it like a space casket, but designed for safety, not for show. Now the twist. People imagine space makes things disappear. But in space, there's no normal air and weather like Earth. A body wouldn't decompose the same way. It can freeze and dry out, more like a mummy than a normal burial. Not fresh forever, but preserved longer than you'd expect if it's sealed and kept cold. So why not just put the body in a giant freezer? Because the ISS doesn't have the space or equipment to store a whole body like a morgue. NASA's own medical brief says large body refrigeration isn't available, and onboard cold storage is limited. So the priority becomes contain it, protect the crew, decide the safest next move. NASA's ISS guidance lists hard options. Return the remains, high priority when possible. Jettison to a disposal trajectory, or destructive reentry, meaning it burns up safely. And for longer missions, NASA standards also mention planning for in situ disposition. But it must follow planetary protection rules so we don't contaminate other worlds. Now for the part that sounds like sci-fi, NASA also explored a concept nicknamed body back with an eco-burial company idea called promession. Freeze drying and breaking remains into powder. But listen, this isn't a normal NASA routine. It's a proposal that got discussed as one possible solution for very long missions. So the truth is darker than they float away. There's a plan, a containment system, hard choices, and a scary final thought. If Europa or Mars missions happen someday, this protocol matters even more. Sumayor, if you were the crew, would you open the forbidden space protocol?